So good afternoon and welcome to our training session today. Today we're talking about Moxi Present 201 and Testimonial Tree. So this is technically part 2. If you were on yesterday's training, part 1 shows you Moxi Present, where we show you how to actually create a listing presentation for a seller so you could create for them a comparative market analysis. We also show you how to create basically, once you learn how to make one presentation, you learn how to make all. There's a buyer presentation. There's a buyer tour. We also have a personal listing presentation. Now, today we're going to go into a little bit quicker and deeper into part 2 for Present, which is going to be some customization. So in addition to the awesome presentations that you can create, we're going to show you today how to do a custom page to add and really customize your presentation to your desire. So as you can see, I have my screen up here with my contact info. You can contact me at any time regarding this training or anything to do with the platforms in any form. My email is right there, or you could also give me a call. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 examples of a custom page. This kind of gives you just an idea, thought process of maybe some options that you could do. And then I'm going to go in and actually show you how to build one. The good news is with Present, once I show you how to build one, you'll basically be able to make any kind of page from there on out. And it's just based off your desire and your creativity. So first and foremost, we're going to go ahead and click Engage. I'm sorry, we're in Present today. I was in the wrong training. We're going to click Present. That's going to take us into our presentations. When you do click that, what it's going to do, if you have made some previous presentations, it's going to show you your presentation library. So as you can see here, I've made a whole bunch of presentations, so they're all shown here laid out. If you have not done this yet, and you haven't created any presentations, please know you might just have one option here, and it might just say sample presentation. But once you do create a new presentation, it will show up here for you to very easily access, edit, or duplicate in the future. Now, in yesterday's training, in part 1, we show you how to actually create the presentation from scratch. And to do so, that you would have clicked on the Create New button in the top right-hand corner. And it will run you through very quick, fast, 5 easy steps to create a presentation. Now, today, I'm actually going to go based off a presentation that's already been created so I can show you the presentation itself, and then go ahead and then add some customized pages. Before I do that, I'm going to show you an example of one you can create. Now, I've already created some tabs at the top here, so you'll see a whole bunch of tabs, but that's just preparing you for the training today. So I have everything organized to make it flow quicker. Here's the first option, and I'm going to go ahead and actually restart this presentation from the very beginning, so you can actually get an overview just in case you might have missed part 1 of the Moxi Present 101 training. So basically, this particular type of presentation is a CMA, a seller presentation, a comparative market analysis. I just did this with an in-law where I actually typed in their address, created a presentation for them, and it compared their house to the houses that are currently on the market. So we knew where to accurately gauge their price point and where we might conceive their selling process going. So let's just run through it very quickly. I'm not going to go over this part in as depth as I would have if it was part 1. But I just want to see very quickly a quick overview. Down on the bottom right-hand corner, there is a navigational option that you can choose. If you do click on the little sandwich icon, the 3 lines in between the arrow going up and the arrow going down, that is actually your navigational menu, which is wonderful because as an agent, you're going to want to be able to very easily flow through your presentation. The clients also have this option as well, so it helps them to very quickly bounce back and forth from pages as they need fit. Just makes it a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and click the down arrow just to scroll through this presentation, and then I will go ahead and specifically teach you how to do the second part. So in the first slide, it's just a basic market value, and basically this presentation was pulled with information from the MLS. In the event that you didn't have an existing MLS number to pull from, you were able to manually enter it. So this was all shown in part 1. But this is just a basic pricing analysis. Then it goes into a property summary. And one of my favorite slides is this one. It's the side-by-side comparison where it shows both analytic numbers with the data, and then also visually, they're able to very quickly click on one of the properties and it actually takes you into the property so they can visualize the graphics for each property as well to make an accurate decision. The listing presentation. So all of this is just standardized pages that we have already built into the presentation. So very quickly, when you create one, all of these are going to come here for you and then have the new information based off your property area. So this is a status comparison that it provides to you. It also has listing averages, and all of these, by the way, are all dynamic in the way that you can click on them and then it will update the data and the information. So it's interactive. It's also intuitive because it's fresh from the MLS. So it's linked directly to your MLS, so the information is current. And again, as I mentioned, it's all interactive. So each one of these slides allows you to hover and get the information that you're seeking. It goes into price and size. So these are all the things that are standard. Okay, now here are some of the extras. We've created some presentation slide pages from a brokerage standpoint to add to your presentation in case you want to make it more like a listing presentation. So as a perfect example, here's one of the sheets that we can add on, and I'll show you where and how to do this today. We have something called a buyer profile. It's a proprietary tool just for our company, and it does allow us to pinpoint a buyer specific to a particular type of property. So this is just a sheet mentioning what that tool is and what it does for them. That way, when they go to the next slide, which actually shows them their particular buyer profile map, it actually showcases a very specific area point by color code. And if I hover over this, it actually gives me more detailed geographic information of where the potential buyer is based off buyer activity. So this could mean what they're doing on the internet as far as Facebook, following as far as Google. All of that stuff basically in general is just tracked by the search engines, and this just helps us narrow down people who are specifically looking to purchase. And if you notice here, it actually covers based off the color code here, the highest to match, etc. So that's just an additional slide option that we're letting you guys put in there, and it's all automatically configured as well. In addition to that, here's just a couple slides that I've added just to give you as a visual example. I like this one, staging to sell, because it then helps put the, the point of what's expected for each property when you're selling it. Strength in numbers. So all of these are very valuable to add on to your presentation because many people are visual, right? But they're also very analytical as well. Most people are a combination of both. So although I'm providing this as a CMA to somebody, I'm also providing this as a solidification of who you get when you work with me because of the power and the team that we have together through Coldwell Banker and through our Schmidt offices. The core values sheet, put that one in there. And again, all of these you can pick and choose what you prefer. But I do like this one as well because I love to advise that you guys are not just an independent agent. Even if you're on a team or not, you have an amazing power team, which includes your marketing group, includes your ASC, your manager, your training team, and your marketing. All of those different components are part of your power team. So adding some of these slides are going to be really important to you. Inclusive of this one as well. This particular slide shows analytically that people right now are searching for homes 95% online, which we definitely can say that's probably the case because that's how we all do it to begin with. Now, the next slide is intuitively on purpose because it actually showcases in here that Coldwell Banker by stats is actually the #1 most visited real estate brand online. So that's why we're going to jump in to show you how to do these on part 2 and then how to create custom pages. Because you can send a standard presentation, that's fine. But when you have these data points and graphics showcasing to them, it's telling them why wouldn't they work with you. So if 95% of people are looking for a home to purchase online, and we're literally the #1 most visited brand online, it just makes a lot of sense you would choose the company. And you don't need to speak ill or conversate about any other brokerage. We're very classy and just having it in the slide for us. Some other options that are in here are where their influential social engagements are. So different locations they can go to follow and track and search for us. And again, we also include the video views as well. So if we're inclusive of a very high volume of people watching or checking those analytics, it just shows that we know what we're doing and that when they work with you, they're going to get that kind of coverage as well. This is the internet marketing page that you can add. This just shows everywhere that if they're with you, where it goes. And we have the important names: Trulia, Zillow, Yahoo, Realtor.com, HGTV, something is on here somewhere. It's just a whole bunch of them. Clearly, it goes out to like 700 places, but this is just a snapshot of some of the major ones just to showcase where we would be going to. Next is just talking about what you would do to bring in more buyers. And now here's where we get to some of the customization. Now, this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. I want you to know that you're going to be able to really make this your own, right? You want to be able to express yourself in different forms. So I'm going to show you how to make a custom page that's just like this, where you can create and add your own video or pull video in from YouTube that already exists. You can add text, and you can even add visual graphics. In addition to that, you can even pull in some reviews from Testimonial Tree so that it lets your clients do the work and talk for you, right? So again, it's about that classiness. You do not have to be the agent that says, pick me, pick me. Let the clients talk for you to allow other people to understand what value and worth you have in the form of their testimonial. So that's one option, okay? So this is option one. This is one I'm going to show you how to do today. Now, the good news is once I show you how to do this particular one page, how to add a video, how to add text and add a picture, you're going to be able to do any custom page. Here's a different example from our marketing team. So I believe in our digital accelerator program, this is something that was done for one of the agents out there in the Gaylord area for Schmidt Realtors. So they actually created an insert that went into her newsletter. So she was very easily able to add in graphics and lay out where she wanted the photo versus the text. We can even make things clickable so that it goes to a website and clicks outside of this page, right? So you would be directing traffic to that landing page on your website. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to do that. And again, this is just a custom page with a series of pictures and text added in, similar to this one, but just a different layout. And I'm going to show you how to very quickly manipulate how many columns go into it. So it's very easy for you to decide, do you want 2 columns? Do you want 3? Do you want a picture versus a video, etc. Now, here's another option that we were provided an example. I believe somebody on the program through the marketing team, Digital Accelerator, actually added this page here. I did get these 2 examples from JD when we were talking about ideas for customization. So now this one's a featured listing page. So I just want you to consider this. If you are doing a presentation for a seller or a buyer even, doesn't matter who, and you've got this amazing property that you really want to promote and market on a high level, you can actually add your featured listings on the end, which is just one more selling point for a seller. So you can let them know that you could add their property to featured listings at the end of all the presentations you send out, right? And this is important too, because presentations through Present allow you to create a C of A. So if I don't even know the individual as far as client-wise, and they're just generally speaking, maybe they ask, can you give me just a property analysis? Like, what do you think my house would be worth? And you created a presentation for them. You would be able to very feasibly say, okay, well, this is the presentation, as you saw in the beginning here, all the slides up front. But if you do sign with me, I would love to be able to throw in an extra presentation slide at the end showcasing your home as my featured property. So you're not only telling them what they would get by working with you, but you're also increasing the exposure of their property to other people as well. But again, I just want to break this page down. So here we go. We've got the picture, the graphic in here on the top. They've added some text right here. There's a video built in. And then this was simply just literally, guys, copied and pasted from the MLS. So a lot of this is copying and pasting. You really don't have to have any graphic design background or anything like this. It's just very simply pulling the information from one location and putting it to the next. So again, really, once you see how easy it is to add picture, text, and video, sky's the limit as far as how you can design the layout. Now, let me go ahead and show you where and how we do create the extra pages and pull also in the pages from our presentation itself that we've created for you. There is a question. It says in here, there's a mention about yesterday's class. I did not run yesterday's class, so I can actually follow up on that for you as regards to how yesterday's class went. But the good news is we do that session every single month, but we also have a whole bunch of them recorded already from previous sessions. So if you go to schmidtvideoclassroom.com, I'll actually show you right now exactly how to access that training. each and every time we do it. So you can start off, there's one of two ways, just so you know. You can go directly through schmidtresources.com. I'm sure you've all seen this by now. This is where we put all of the important things for your region. You can just click directly on your region. And then we have like a little portal getting you to the video location that we want you to go to. In our options, one of them says video and social media. So when I click on that, I'm going to click on that one more time, the Schmidt Video Classroom. And what it does is it navigates you into our YouTube channel. So we actually have our YouTube channel, and this is all the training we've done previously. You can do one of two things. On the playlist area, you can come in here and you can learn specific classes by going to the long form for Moxi. That's our long classes, like our full classes, I should say. So the entire Moxi Engage 101, the entire 201, that's all right here. If you want little snippets of Moxi, you can come to Moxi Mondays. But for this particular situation, I always recommend you just doing the little magnifying glass on the top on the right, and you can actually type in Moxi Present 101, which was part 1 from yesterday, or even any of the days, because the sessions are broken down. And it will filter it for you. So you can very easily see all of these in here, all the classes that we've done, showcasing everything from Moxi 101. So if you happen to miss yesterday, or you couldn't get all of the session, or for whatever reason you couldn't get in, you're able to jump in here and get the training in that way. You just go ahead and click right on it. You're able to click on it and then go ahead and pause and record and continue as needed. All right, so let's go into creating the presentation, because it's actually very easy, guys. And I just want you to see that it's very user-friendly, regardless of what type of level you are with technology. So first and foremost, I'm obviously locked in to Moxi. I'm going to go ahead, and as I mentioned before, we click on the Present button in the top navigational panel. That opens us up to our Present library if we have created presentations in the past. If we have not, there will not be any presentations here, and you will go ahead and hit Create New. But for those that already have a presentation that's created, you're able to jump in here and actually edit an existing presentation at any time by clicking in the upper right-hand corner, the little edit pencil. Now, the good news is, for those who are on that haven't created one yet, the minute that I do this, it's going to open it up to the same view as if I was creating it from scratch the first time. So I'll be able to very quickly run through what you do when you're creating it from scratch, very simply. So it's 5 steps. Please take your eyes to the top on the left side. 1, property subject. 2, search. 3, listings. 4, estimate. 5, pages. So this is literally the navigation. It's all right here on the top. You can go back and forth between these and you won't lose any of the information. So even if I continue through to part 3, to the listings tab, I will not lose anything from 1 to 2 if I go backwards. So here's a very quick run through. This is not a full training on how to create the presentation, because that's part 1. What I do want to share very quickly, however, is that it's very simple to get the presentation material in here for a standard presentation. Now, this particular one is a seller presentation, okay? So this would go to a potential seller or an existing seller. It's going to show them their comparative market analysis. It compares their house, the value and the details of their house, to others that are on the market currently being sold, those that are currently on the market but haven't sold for a while, and those that are quickly pending, right? So you're going to get a good idea of what the market looks like compared to your house. Now I can do one of 2 things. One is I can enter an MLS number directly from the MLS. It doesn't need to be existing. It just needs to be within the last 6 years. So if my seller, let's say Linda, or in this situation, it's Jill on this particular slide, we actually have her. Let's say the house that she is selling has been on the market within the last 6 years. I'm able to go online to the MLS and get the MLS number and plug that MLS number right in here. Now, what the good news with that is when I do that, it's going to plug in all of her information, okay? Let me go ahead and close something off really quick here because it's recording everything I'm saying. There we go. All right, so now that's what you would do. You would plug in the MLS number right here, right where it's actually clicking. It would pull all of your information in, inclusive of photos and all details specific to the property. So as you can see here, it automatically populated all of this. That's what helps us draw our comparison. If we did not have an MLS number, just so you know, all of this would be blank and you'd be able to manually enter it. Now we're going to go ahead and go to step 2, because I'm just going to run through this process, because essentially I'm not going over the creation of the presentation today. I'm going over the additional customized pages. I'm going to go ahead and click search to get to the next part. Search page is very simply put, it's finding the comps for you. So you're able to jump in here and decide which of the comps are included by clicking on the plus sign. So if I would like for all of them to be included, I would click on the plus sign. If I do not want some to be included, I do not click on the plus sign. Obviously, if you're doing this for the first time and actually creating the presentation for someone, you are going to want to click on this little details button that's right here on each one before you add it, because you want to really look at the property to make sure it's a true comp you want to show. But just for training purposes, I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus sign just so we can get to the next section. I'm going to go ahead and click listings. And this, very simply put, is just the order in which they show. Do we want them to show active to sold, price high to low, etc.? So you get to choose that. And that's it for that page. The estimate page is very simple. These 2 pages you just kind of fly by very quickly. It's going to give you an estimated pricing based off what it pulls in the comps and based off the MLS data. But if you feel like you have a best value that you want to put, you can go ahead and add that here or add any additional remarks. Now here's the last page, okay? This is where we're going to do a little bit of work today to make it easy. As you notice on the left side here, we've got all of the pages from our presentation. Now the good news is when you're making a presentation from scratch, we've already created all of the interactive pages for you, so you don't have to do any of the building work. All of that's going to show up for you right here. It's going to be like 7 or 8 of these pages. So right here, all the way down here are going to be the standard pages that come immediately with the presentation. In the event you decided you didn't want a page, you can go ahead and you can hit on the little, once I highlight that page, you can actually click on the little X button and remove that page. Now, I'm going to show you where I got all of these extra pages from. We have a presentation book called The Blue Book. If you haven't seen it before, please go to cbbluebook.com. Or if you're doing this for a global luxury standpoint, for a luxury buyer, it's actually cbblackbook.com. Now, I'm just going to show you a very quick preview of it because I want you to see some of the pages so that makes sense when we talk about where we're adding them. Let's go ahead in here. So it's literally cbbluebook.com. It is our marketing presentation book that we make for our brand. We do make one for each region. So there is one specific to Coldwell Banker. We also have Century 21 as well. But as you can see, we've stitched it into a digital magazine. Now, I'm just going to be very honest and clear with you. You guys having your presentation available to your clients is essential because I want them learning about our company, learning about our stats, learning about our numbers, learning about our success from here, from you in advance, or when you're talking to them briefly, because when it comes time to actually conversating about signing with them or what they need, what their expectations are, or what you're doing for them, that conversation should be you listening and not as much of you talking, right? So I know that you're going to conversate with them about your value, right? Why they're going to need to choose you over everybody else. But when you're doing this in advance through a presentation you're sending them or through this blue book, you're allowing all of those questions to be answered in advance. We have all the same stats here, right? See this? 90%, 97% of home buyers use the internet to purchase or to look for their home. We are the #1 visited real estate site. And this blue book here, this bluebook.com, and these pages we're going to provide to you are the most recent stats and the data and analytics based off the MLS from the previous time period. So essentially, we want to then merge these pages into your presentation so that you can just have this data doing all this great conversating for you. You don't have to say, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best. For, out loud, you literally can let this talk for you. It's about a classy way of presentation, And it's about letting our numbers do the talking and our clients do the talking, so we don't have to be so showy about it as well. So these are the Blue Book pages. And the cool news is every single page that you see here, every one of them is loaded into a library for you to access to plug into your presentation. So you can use as few or as many pages as you wish and really customize the content based off who you're sending it to. Because let's be honest, sometimes I have a presentation where I would want to include all of the pages. Maybe it's my initial conversation with them and I haven't talked to them about the brand or our tools. But maybe I've already worked with them as an existing client and I might need maybe one page or maybe two or maybe none for this round because I've already worked with them in the past. So we're giving you the options. We've done the work. Now we're going to show you how to access the benefit and add them into your presentation to customize as you see fit. So here's how we do it. On the left, like I mentioned, we're on the step 5 of creating our presentation. It is the Pages page. On the left, as I mentioned, the navigational panel is all of the different pages of the presentation. So if I click on it, it's going to show me a preview of that page. So I'm very easily able to click on it. If there's something I want to change on it, I can click edit to do so. If the page is not editable, that pencil will not be there. I can then remove a page as needed. I can also change the location of pages by clicking on it and grabbing it and processing it to move forward. So if you notice, I literally just dragged and dropped that page. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to grab pricing analysis. And I'm going to come up and pull it up here. So what that does is it allows you to maintain your flow. The conversation goes based off of what you want to talk about in the order you want to talk about. Even though we do the work building it for you, you still get to control how it comes out. That's the cool part. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove that custom page that I showed you. And I'm going to show you how to add on our brokerage pages and add and create a custom page. So my About Me page is the one where we added in video. We added in the picture and added in the text. Very quickly, I'm going to open that page up again because I do want you to see that it all runs inside your presentation. So we're keeping them in one location. So here is that page. Now I'm going to show you as we talk about breaking this down, why we would make, why each of these would be relevant to you. But here's the first one. It's a YouTube video, very clean. And it's literally an agent video. So I want you to just kind of think creatively and think, you know, whether this is in your wheelhouse or not, having a video of yourself talking about what you provide and what it is to you and your values for being a realtor is very impactful. I'm going to show you this video. It's not a long video. I'm going to show you just a couple seconds of it. But this is a realtor who's done this. And please keep in mind, today stuff like this is very often shot on iPhones, on Google Pixel, on any cell phone you have, because the resolution nowadays is actually very good. So you don't have to go really high end and pay a photographer. You guys can work together as an agent, working with your ASC or your manager and just film you talking. We have a lot of agents who have done that in our office. And to be honest, it's really authentic when you do it that way and not overproduced. But let me give you a very quick visualization of this. And by receiving this, I want you to imagine yourself being the client and the impact it would have on you getting this presentation versus a standard print out piece of paper that they would get from somebody else. Okay, so this is one video.
I love helping people. My role isn't only about negotiating the best price for my clients. It's about understanding each person's unique needs, being readily available to my clients, and communicating effectively whether it's buying or selling a home. What I love about this business is not only the feeling of helping people, but genuinely getting to know them while being open, honest, and transparent throughout the process. I learned early on how important it is to have a good support system in this business. I've surrounded myself with a network of trusted professionals to ensure that no matter what question or situation may arise, I'll have the best solution for my client.
So that right there is very intuitive to who she is, how she's going to work with me, because she just said it herself. She could be a brand new agent, but the realization is she has a team behind her. So I'd love to encourage or even inspire people to think about a video that they could create either with themselves. Maybe you're sitting with your manager. Maybe you're with your ASC so you can feel more comfortable being on camera. Are you sitting with your vendor team? Regardless of what the solution is, you can very simply and easily create a video, and you actually already have a YouTube channel, whether you know it or not. All of our company provided emails, so our great CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt, Ohio, CB Florida Homes, you've all been provided an email, a company provided G Suite email. In that email, there is technically a YouTube account already there. All you have to do is just start uploading to it. Now, in reality, if you are interested in that, I have a training on how to do that. I have an actual YouTube training where I take my cell phone, I take a video, I show you how to upload it to the channel. And on the side, I even give you some suggestions of some easy editing programs for beginners that would make it very simple to kind of cut out some things you want, maybe add some things you don't want, and essentially have your own channel and run it. Now, in addition to what I'm saying, you don't have to create all of your own content. That's just something that maybe you should put in your guidelines of, you know, as you're growing your business and what you can do for yourself to expand it, because video is by far the best way to communicate with someone outside of speaking to them verbally, right? Just sending a text or just reading is not as engaging today based off analytics as video and conversation in person is. So some of the other options in here is you can actually use video that's already created online. And let me tell you, our brand has so many video pieces and so much content, both in visual graphics and video, that you wouldn't even have time to put them all on. That's the good news. There's so much content that it's ready for you just to pick it and go. I'm going to show you some locations on where you can grab it and plug it in. So when I tell you I made this whole presentation in a couple of minutes, I'm being very honest, I really did. The only thing I did is I took a couple minutes in advance to really just jump and look through the YouTube channel just to see what videos I wanted. But let me give you another example. So that was that introduction video at the top. That was an embedded video from YouTube. I also added a column here that has my tagline. Home is where, or more than just a house, it's where you find your peace. So I added this video and I added this text here. I also wanted to give you some other video options. So I plugged in this video right here of Coldwell Banker in St. Jude. So they're able to very quickly play on this, and it plays a video right in the presentation.
We are proud to announce that Coldwell Banker is teaming up with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to help save kids' lives. Agents participating in the CD Support St. Jude program can choose to make an automatic donation for every home sale or purchase they complete, and can opt.
So that's important. Even if that's not something you personally are involved in with your proceeds, letting them know that the company that you're with is more than business, it's more than numbers. It's very, very big and very impactful. More people tend to want to work with a company who does have a greater good behind it. So why don't we plug into those videos already created and plug them in? Again, we're not reinventing the wheel. I'm not expecting to go out and create new videos all the time. This is something that was already pre-created and we've just plugged it in. In the middle, I've added a graphic just to show you that you could put a photo in. Now, this is actually pulled from the Schmidt Resources location that you all have access to. So my idea here is just to implore you guys to take a couple minutes after session today and go in and look at your graphics that are available there. So as a very specific example, if you don't have your own photos, right, your own graphics, watch how easily you can access them. If you're in schmidtresources.com, all of the regions are mostly the same on the inside. You just have to click on your region. And the squares, for the most part, inside are all the same unless there's something specific to a particular area. Now, if you notice, there's a social graphics tab. It's the one with this cute little kiddo being kissed by the puppy. Click on that. Okay, here are some things that we're giving you permission to use. You're allowed to use them. So the one that I had there in the other example was a virtual open house graphic. We're currently paused on those, but when we do open those open house graphics, it's huge because I'll go back in a minute and show you that slide, but it shows you how many people view them. So we're literally proving our viewership online. But let's go ahead and click this one, brand and buyer seller graphics. Now these are taken, they're either created custom in-house or they're taken from the company or the brand product called BrandServe and then edited specifically for our particular offices. So we'll take the brand content and put our DBA on them. Let's go ahead and scroll down. So as you can see here, it can be a very similar sphere, very easy sphere graphic that doesn't have to be anything super detailed. But again, it's just that graphic view of grabbing them and grabbing their attention and getting those points across. We've also got some that have some numbers in it, some statistics as well. So adding these would be very easy because first of all, it's right inside Schmidt Resources. We've got categories for them. And it's also very easy because if you can see this one right here, home is everything, you're going to find some things that we're putting in there that are relevant to our times. Our times are changing, our sellers are changing, their lives are changing, our buyers are changing. So we're going to try to keep up with the times in Schmidt Resources in our graphics area to give you content that's of the time. So as you can see here, this particular graphic with her mom next to the child, she's likely working at home from her laptop. If I grab this, I can actually right click on it. I'm able to then save a copy of this image directly to my computer. So now I can use it not just in the presentation I'm about to show you. You can use it on Facebook. You can put it in your website. You can add it to a newsletter, whatever your heart desires. We're telling you, you have permission to use these products and tools. In addition to our social graphics in schmidtresources.com, just one more location center for you. The brand itself has a platform called Desk. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. It's mycvdesk.com. Please write that down if you don't have it. And then what you would do is you would type in here your name and password, but I'm not going to do that on spot because you'll see my password as I put it in there. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually click on the tool called BrandServe. We have a full training class on that in a week and a half, I think. And I talk directly about how to pull those graphics out of BrandServe and then directly save them to your computer. So as far as creating your presentation, my point is to tell you that we actually have the content available for you. It's just a matter of you being shown where to access it. So this was the presentation. This was pulled from YouTube, this video. This was my tagline I added as text. This was a brand Coldwell Banker video that I pulled in. This middle part was a graphic that I pulled in directly from the social media tab, the social graphics tab in schmidtresources.com. And then I also found an agent that had a great run-through video of a property showing you an interior video. So I put this in here as an example, again, to intrigue and inspire that creativity. Number one, if you add your photos to the MLS, it stitches together for you a little 3D video or a little video, virtual tour it's called. But in case you want to take your own cell phone and do your own walkthrough and throw it to music, we've got very easy editing programs that I talk about in that YouTube tutorial showing you how to do this. But let's take a look at this because the idea is you're showing them what they get by working with you. So very specifically, if you're going to be in a house taking the photos or you're going to have a photographer already there, don't just stand still and take still photos. Just walk through the house with your cell phone, with your camera, take these videos, and you can very easily make a video like this. Now, this is a production company or somebody that paid a photographer to do it, but it's the same idea. Let me go ahead and give you an example. Okay, so that obviously makes an impact. And guys, let me very specifically tell you, they're literally just walking through the house with the camera, throwing it into a quick editor program and adding music. There's a program out there called Filmora, Wondershare Filmora. That's a great one for beginners. You literally can just, once you get it, you literally throw in your photos or videos. You can even upload them directly and it will stitch them together for you, or you can choose to copy, you can edit them if you want to, cut off parts and add parts in. but it literally already has music even in the platform as well. So you don't have to pay for music. So I'm just telling you, you have the potential that's beyond your knowledge if you're not doing these things, just because you have the tools that you might not have known that you had quicker to your access than you might have realized. So these are great ways for you just to really make an outstanding impact, because you are an agent amongst agents that they're talking to. Generally speaking, unless you're, close friends or family, they're going to interview you and they're going to interview several other people. They're all going to hear, let me be clear here, they're all going to hear, I'm the best agent, I'm the best company, we have the best tools, the best technologies, the best net. That's what they hear. You're going to show them differently by walking the walk instead of just talking the talk. Just adding a customized content from either pre-made material from our company or your own, you're going to show them what's different about us. Our numbers show in our graphics. Remember those blue book pages? They show, they talk, they clarify themselves. We're going to show some additional videos to really push point that in. So we're not just the next person talking to them, literally saying that they're the best in the business. So this was just an idea that I put together just to give you some thought processes of what you can add. But essentially, we're going to create a page where we're adding a video and a picture and a text, and you're going to be able to create your own pages as you see fit. You can pick your own videos, you can use pre-made content or whatever you wish. Now at the bottom, we have a newer option as well with Testimonial Tree. So if you haven't heard yet, we have actually signed on with Testimonial Tree as a brokerage. So you all have a Testimonial Tree account. We've already connected it and merged it in with Moxi. So now you're able to then pull these testimonials in. And I have them technically right now in columns because I have a whole bunch, but you can manipulate and choose. I'll show you how. You're going to be able to come in here and choose the layout. So if you want those customer testimonials, those client testimonials to do the talking for you, you can very easily do that by plugging them into your custom page. So that was just, again, an example of a custom page. And I showed you previously how you can also make a newsletter page where you're featuring a particular property to go in for your newsletter, or you could also create a listing feature page for a featured listing. Okay, so all of these are the same. I just want you to see visually, this is literally just a graphic, this is just text, and this is just a video. So even though they all look different and some look like they take more skill than others, they actually don't. They all have the same 3 steps. Let me show you. Okay, here we are. I was in Moxi, and remember, I just want to kind of show you guys where we were. When you get into Moxi, you're either creating your presentation from scratch and landing on that page 5, or you're going into a pre-existing campaign you've already created and clicking on the edit pencil in the top right-hand corner. Again, the same exact 5 steps align. It'll take you through these 5 steps as we show in Moxi Present 101, Part 1. It's going to take you to this pages page at the bottom, at the edge. Okay. On the left is where all of our pages are loaded. And then if you notice here, that About Me page is the one I just showed you. I'm going to go ahead and delete it right now because I want you to see me creating it firsthand. So I'm going to delete this page. Done, gone. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you where to get the extra content pages. So your basic presentation is going to be 7 or 8 pages automatically. It's going to come with the pages that are these pages, these interactive pages. That's awesome. It already comes standard. But to get those extra pages that we manually put in from our Blue Book, our listing presentation, on the left side navigational panel on the top on the left, you're going to click on the plus sign that says Add Page. Now I'm going to click Add from Library. This is literally our library of pages. If I then choose the option that says CBX pages, these are those 2 pages that connect in that buyer intelligence page. So that buyer profile, remember those 2 pages I showed you where it literally pinpointed where their buyer would come from? If you wanted to add those into your presentation, you're just simply going to click the Add button. And now immediately it's in my presentation and I don't have to add any data in. It's configuring it for me based off the data and analytics through the MLS and through their system. If I choose to not have one of those pages, Once I've added it, I'm going to simply click remove, and it's now taken that page out. I'm going to go ahead and add it in so I can show you in the presentation. Now, on the left, you're going to choose brokerage pages, and then you're going to choose the page that says Blue Book Pages Updated. So these are the old pages, but these are the newest with the most recent data. So clicking on that option is now all of those pages from that beautiful magazine that I showed you, this beautiful magazine here. All of these pages right here with all these stats, all these numbers, they're all in the presentation builder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to very quickly add it. Here we go. So it names the page on the left-hand side. You can actually visualize that page. You can view it if you wish. Let me go ahead here. Just click on this one right here that says email marketing. It's going to give you a preview of that page so you can decide if that's one you specifically want to add or not. If it is one that you want to add, in the upper right-hand corner, you're simply going to click add, and then you can X out or close that. You also can just jump right in here. If you like all the pages, you can come in here and do add, 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 and just continuously add them. And then in the event that when you get them in your presentation, you decide you don't want them, you can always remove them here or in the actual library itself in the navigation panel. You can hit that remove button like I showed you. But that's how you get these customized Blue Book or brand presentation pages. Now I'm going to go back to my presentation itself by clicking on this down arrow and clicking on presentation. Just so you know, I could have also gotten back to this page by clicking on this pages button on the top. This will always load me to this landing page with all my navigational pages. Now, as you can see on the left, I've added these pages just now. You watched me do it immediately. I decide I always don't want these in the beginning, so I'm just going to grab them and I'm going to drag them and drop them to where I feel like it makes the most sense. So then you're able to come in here and manipulate what you get. Like I mentioned, if you end up clicking on it and you're like, oh, that wasn't the one that I thought I wanted. Maybe I wanted something with a little bit more of the data. And this is one of the pages that was more like a graphical page with nothing data-wise. You're just going to click on the X and it removes it. All right, so now that's how you get our brokerage pages. Now, very quickly here, I'm going to show you how easily it was for me to create a whole custom page and adding picture, text, and video. Please take your eyes to the top left. We're going to click Add Page. You're going to click Create New, and it's going to then ask you what you want to do. If yourself or the marketing team has already created for you a page that you want to include here, and it's a PDF, you could click Upload PDF Now and then pull in any PDF you have. Maybe you already have your own listing presentation. No need to reinvent the wheel, just upload what you already have. But if we want to build a page from scratch, we're going to click Build Page. For now, these are just your template options. You can choose whatever you want and then edit it as soon as you get in. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Create. And as you can see, it's laying it out. So like this would be one column similar to the video that we had on the top. And then you can lay either a picture or video side to side. If you notice here, I'm going to try to zoom in here as much as I can. Okay, watch how fast and quick and easy this is. You can add text by clicking this. You can add an image by clicking on the image icon, and video, and there's more option. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to add that video that I showed you, that realtor video. So this is the same concept for anything. Click on video. Literally, you're then just going to go to YouTube, find the video you want. It could be video, it could also be Vimeo, but most of you are probably on YouTube. And you're literally copying and pasting. So let's take a look. That first video that I have opened up a new browser tab now. So as you guys can see, I have plenty open on the top. Before this session, I went to YouTube and I found the video that I wanted. Now, all I have to do to get this video in my presentation is two very quick steps here. I'm underneath the video clicking share and then the word copy. That's it. That's all I'm doing on YouTube. Now I'm going back to the tab on the very top where I was building my presentation, And I'm very simply put going to be going paste. And then at the very bottom on the right, it says add, and I'm clicking that. Instantaneously, that video is there for me to use. Now I'm going to go back over to Jillian's video. Watch this. This is something everybody in our company should do. You should be typing in Coldwell Banker. If you haven't done this yet, please make some time to do this after today's section. So if you go to Coldwell Banker, I believe it's Realty LLC right here. Coldwell Banker Real Estate LLC. Click on that. There are 589 videos, guys. So people telling you they don't have content just doesn't fly, because we have so much content. I just need you to know where to get it and to take it. And you're allowed to use this. You have permission to use it. So here I am on the Coldwell Banker Real Estate page. They have things kind of broken down for you. But if you want to, you can very easily also use this little microphone option on the right here and filter it out, just like I showed you how to do in our Schmidt video classroom. So if you want something that's just for buyers, if you type the word buyers in, it's going to give you a video for buyers. It's going to even have we even have tool videos in here. The like Moxi and all the technologies we have, that buyer locator, there's videos in here for that. We've got new options, our home estimator, all those cool new features on our CB websites. All of those have videos, so you can very easily plug in here. So let's just do that as an example. If I type in the word estimator, you're able, oh, sorry. It's actually estimate, I believe. You're able to get the brand content, plug that video in. So this is a brand new one that we have here. We offer what's called a CB estimate. It's an instant estimate. I'm sorry, I can't speak very good today.
Millions of people are finding out their home is worth more than they think. And it might be the case with yours. Get an instant estimate on your home with the all-new CB estimate, only at coldwellbanker.com.
Okay, so there you go, you guys. And there's different trainings that we've done on Moxi Mondays where we showed you how to use some of these brand tools and run it from your own website as well. So we're directing traffic to you. But these are the videos they need to see to explain what they are and to engage that excitement and interest. For me to grab this video, all I'm doing again is I'm going to click share and hitting the word copy. And then I would go into my presentation that I'm building, and I'd be able to very quickly come back in like I just showed you, click on the video tab. And then I'm going to hit paste, and I'm pasting that in. So literally your content is just completely endless as to how much you can offer, because in just YouTube alone, just Coldwell Banker, there are so many amazing videos in there with that brand content. So they offer things for a realtor, they offer things for a buyer, a seller, people that are renting. There's all kinds of great stuff in there. Now let me show you how to manipulate your columns and how to add and remove things. In my previous example, I had 3 columns here where I had a video, a picture, and another video. This only has 2. So all you do is if you take your eyes to the right side of my screen, please. On the bottom right of every section is a trash button where you can remove that section, or a plus sign, and that's to add a new column. I'm going to go ahead and remove. I don't want 2 columns, I want 3. So now at the bottom of the selected area, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the plus sign. And this is how I'm going to add a new column. Very quickly, easily put here. Let me move my screen up so you can see it a little bit better. Make it a little bit larger. Okay, now look at this box on the bottom right, you guys. This manipulates how many columns. See how I just made 4 columns by clicking the arrow up? But in this particular situation, I want to add just 1 column because I'm going to put that text in. Remember my key phrase I added? I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the text button. And it's going to give me a little section right here where I'm going to add my text to it. I'm going to literally go back to my actual presentation page and copy and paste it so I don't have to sit here and type it in. And you guys can just type whatever you want. But essentially, you guys, this is exactly like working in Microsoft Word or in your email. It's exactly the same. You could either type it in or hit paste. Okay, now I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because it's kind of hard to see this. It's putting it down here on the right. So I'm going to highlight it And then this is just like in Microsoft Word or email. It's the same. If I were to click format, I'm going to tell it I want large text. See how it made it larger for me? And I'm able to align it in the center, on the left, in the middle. I can add bullet points. I can do whatever I want. I can technically even click on that little link button right here on the end on the right and link this to my website or anything that I want to link it to. So that's it as far as how to add text. Now let me go in and show you how to add another column so we can get those 3 columns in line. Again, bottom right, plus sign. We're going to say 3 columns. Notice how we've got those 3 columns there. Now, what if you want them to be different sizes? Okay, watch what happens when I want to do 2 columns. If I want the one to be smaller on the left and the one on the right to be bigger, I'm able to very quickly manipulate that by dragging this right here. See how I'm dragging it? It's changing the size. Now you'll get to play with this, and if you have a video that fits bigger and you want smaller text, that's what makes you able to come in here and decide what sizes each are. But for this, I'm just going to say 3 columns and hit OK. Watch how quickly I do this now. Okay, remember I had video, picture, video. I'm going to click on the video button. And again, I had a video for St. Jude because I wanted people to see that we're more than business. And we have this wonderful connection with St. Jude. So I was in Coldwell Banker's YouTube page. I did click on the YouTube video for the St. Jude. I'm now clicking on the share button underneath the video. I'm hitting copy, going back to my actual presentation builder, and in the top right, hitting paste. Same concept here. So I didn't take hours making any of these videos. I just took a couple minutes just looking through YouTube to get the video I wanted. Next, I'm going to do a picture. So I'm going to choose the image option. And it's going to actually give you the opportunity to pull from any previously used pictures. So every time you upload a picture from your computer, it will be here in your library. If you want to upload a new picture that you got from schmidtresources.com, that social graphics tab, or if you're in Desk, that CD Desk, and you go to Brand Serve and download your pictures from that, you'll be able to upload them from your computer using the upload button. I'm going to go ahead and select the one I already have in here and hit add. Now, the last video I did again was the video for that drive-through of the property, the walkthrough. And again, I just clicked video. So same concept. And if you can see in here, once you learn how to do it once, you can get super creative and all of your videos and pictures can be different. So each area is of new value. I'm hitting copy. Coming in here and I'm going to hit paste. We're going to hit add. And now immediately I've got these videos right here. So that's as easy as it gets, you guys. You're literally adding a column by clicking on the plus sign and choosing how many columns you want. If you do not want a column that's there or you've added by accident, you're going to click on the little trash button right next to it in the bottom right-hand corner. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you how to add something in is to pull in your testimonies from Testimonial Tree. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 column by clicking on the plus sign. We're almost done. I only need it to be 1 column, so I'm going to do 1. Now, here's where I'm going to quickly jump out of where I am in present and go in, open a brand new tab at the top. So you're going to open a new tab in your browser and open up Moxi again, okay? So I want to be in Moxi. The shortcut to that is my.schmidtresources.com if you don't know. But this time, instead of clicking on present, and remember, we're opening a new tab so I don't lose my place where I was creating that presentation. But when I'm in here, I'm now going to go take my eyes above my photo to the top. We're going to click hub. I'm getting over an illness, guys, so I apologize. It's hard for me to speak if it's hard for me to understand me. Okay, here is the great thing that we offer. All of these platforms that we have for you, we've taken the time to connect them into our hub so they're a single sign-on. Now we've pre-created all of your Testimonial Tree accounts. That means when you come into Hub, and again, Hub was in the panel at the top next to present, it actually has a Testimonial Tree option. Clicking on that will then log you into your Testimonial Tree account. Now, these can come in from, you can set your testimonial tree account up to go out to multiple locations to get your testimonies to come in, or you can also set it up so that you're manually entering. So for this particular simulation, I had a whole bunch in a whole bunch of places. And what I did is I actually went in and I copied and pasted them all into Testimonial Tree by myself and made it easier. Before we talk about that, I'm just going to show you how to get them out of Testimonial Tree, what you currently have, and how to get them in your presentation, because you're obviously going to be building new testimonials as time go. So you might not have any in there. Okay, here's what we're going to do. On the left, the navigational panel has an option that says widgets right underneath the word dashboard. We're going to click widgets. Okay, that's like an add-on, or it's also called a module. Those are other words that people use for it, but it's going to be our add-on. We're going to say add widget. Now, the cool thing is it's going to give you a visualization. So you have, let's say, 4, 5, 20, 30 testimonials. It doesn't matter. This is just a visual representation of the layout of what it will look like in your presentation when you pull it over. So let's go back up to the top. This is just you deciding what you prefer, your preference. You can have them like this. So it's just a list. There's no numbers or anything, or no stars or anything. You have the option to put them in so they're laid out like social media, where it's clickable and linkable to social media. You can add them in as columns, which is what I've done, because if you have a lot of testimonials and you really want people to see more of them versus just 1 or 2 and they have to click and slide to see the rest, that might be a good option for you. This one's called 3D Social. This one's super simple, but very plain, so I probably would not use that one. And then these are rotating. So keep that in mind, that you're going to see one testimonial. Anything that says rotator is going to have an arrow on the side, and it's going to make you click on the arrow to scroll to see the rest. So think about that when you're adding them, based on how many you want to show. Again, vertical rotator, list, columns 2. Actually, that's the one I think I might have done, columns number 2. This one looks visually nice. It's speech bubbles. But again, it's a rotator, so you'll see 3 and you'll have to click on them, or you might even see 1. You have to click to see the rest. So that's all these are. You're just going to choose the one that visually looks the way you want it to show on your site. You're going to click choose and continue underneath the option you want. We're almost done here. Okay. They're going to load your testimonials here on the bottom, but if you have a whole bunch, maybe you want to filter it out and you only want the testimonials for the last 3 months, you can use this filter section at the top to do so. You can have it filter out only where they're coming from too. As I mentioned, you can connect this so it connects with Google, Zillow, Yelp, Facebook, etc. This is where you can use to filter out where they're coming from. Now, it has them on the left, but it doesn't mean I'm going to have all of them show up. Intentionally, we have it in here so that you click the add button next to the testimonial that you want to show up. So I'm able to add this one, and you can control which ones don't show if you so chose. So for example, I'm just going to continuously hit add, and I'm going to add probably 6 of them just so you guys can see how it stacks as columns. Add. And again, these were just ones that were all over in there that people have just randomly given me over time. So I'm just going to continue to hit add here. So that's all I'm doing. I'm saying yes. Of all these testimonials, I want this one to be added. Okay, so that's enough just for this tutorial. When I'm done adding them, a few of them or all of them, bottom right, click continue. Now we're going to name what this widget is called. So we're going to name what this testimonial is called. So I can say, even if I wanted to say present, because it's where they're going, I can just name it present and hit finish. So that's all I've done. I've just pulled the testimonials and I've named it. That's it. Now I'm going to click on the add widget myself. There's only two steps here and we're done. I'm going to click add widget myself. And then at the bottom right here where it says option 2 for iframing, I'm literally only doing this. Clicking on the end, highlighting the entire thing, right click, copy. That's it. That's all I'm doing. So let me just clearly show you that very quickly. When we are in Moxi, you're going to click on the Hub tab on the top. You're clicking Testimonial Tree. It will then take you into your Testimonial Tree account. From there, you're going on the left side and clicking Widgets. You're clicking Add Widget. Now it's going to tell you what do you want it to look like. So what visualization would you like to have? You're going to choose the one you want and then click Choose and Continue. You're going to name it. Filter it out here. And then you're going to go ahead and then choose the ones you want. Once I choose the ones that I want, here we go. This is when I name it. I'm sorry, that's the next step. After I choose the ones I want, I'm going to go to the bottom and hit Continue. This is where I'm naming it. So in the first, section, I named it Present, but I'm going to go ahead and just say this one's called Test 4, just for training purposes. I'm going to hit Finish. And reminder, we're only going to click Add Widget myself. And then at the bottom, you're then going to highlight all of this, right click it, and then hit Copy. I'm not going to copy this particular one because I copied the last one. So that's all I'm doing here in Testimonial Tree. At the top, I'm in that browser. I'm then going to go back out to my original Moxi Present browser where I'm building my presentation. So I'm going back to that Internet tab at the top. As you can see, this is the presentation we were building. The option I'm going to do right now, there's one little trick here, okay? We're not adding a picture or a video, we're actually adding testimonials. So instead of choosing text, image, or video, we're clicking the word More, and we're almost done. This is the last step, and then I'll open it for questions before our next session here. Now, once I do that, look at all of these options. I'm going to try to scroll in. Gosh, such a hard time talking when I'm not feeling well. I apologize. Now, I would love for you to take a look at the bottom. Okay, there's a black navigational bar. I'm going to roll through this pretty quickly here. The first option on the left is for images. The second image is for YouTube videos. The third one is a play icon. You're going to click the fourth icon on the top, on the left, and when I hover over it, it says iframe. Okay, that's the same kind of code we copied from the testimonial page. I'm literally only going to click this. This is all I have to do. Watch how quick. I'm literally copying and pasting the iframe code that I got from Testimonial Tree. I'm clicking OK. Now, if you look on the bottom on the left, it has the word iframe in red. What's happening right now is it's actually going behind the scenes in the computer and it's building and framing in and running that page within your site. So it's going to look like this for a minute and it's not going to show up immediately. Now, what we're going to do while we're waiting for that to happen for these couple of minutes, we're going to go to the top of our screen. We're going to have a save button on the top right. We're going to go ahead and hit save and save our presentation page. So this particular one, we're going to call it About Me. Well, I'll call it About Me page. Okay, that's the one we're creating right here. And I'm going to say save. Okay, now it's created it, it saved it in my library, that place I showed you where to go to get extra pages. It saved it there as well. But now, as you can see, it's now started building my page and adding those testimonials. I'm done. That's it. Watch what happens now. At the very top, after I made sure I've hit save and saved it, I'm going to click on the top left-hand box, close the X. Okay, that page is now in my presentation. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to drag it to the bottom where I wanted it, because honestly, either in the very beginning or the very end is kind of where something like that would make the most sense. I'm going to put it right here above agent profile. So now it's in my presentation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead in the top. My options on the right, we're almost done here. We're about to start wrapping up. If I click view, this is going to let me see my web view or the view that it would be to send to my client. Watch how easy that was to plug those in, and now look at my presentation page. Okay, remember, this is where my presentation starts. In the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to use the little menu option to scroll all the way to the bottom. I'm going to scroll to the one that's called About Me because that's the one we just made. And here it is. Literally was just copying and pasting and just knowing where to go, going to YouTube, going to our channel. Now my video is playable inside the site. It's in my presentation. My text is there, my videos are there, my pictures there, and my testimonials are there as well. So that's it. That's literally how you create a custom page. I spent the bulk of our time talking about what it is and what you can do. And honestly, creating the page itself just takes a couple of minutes. So we're about to flip over, I think, to a different training. If you have any questions regarding customized pages or where to go to get those extra add-on pages from CV Blue Book, please go ahead and put them in the chat box right now. Go ahead and do that while we're waiting. While we do that, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a very quick run through one more time, 1 more minute while we're waiting for questions. While I was in my presentation and I'm on the pages page, I click add page, and then I clicked create new to do a new page. I build page, and in seconds, I can choose my platform layout. I'm going to hit create. Here, I'm going to create by either adding the video or picture that I want. I'm going to go ahead and just plug in the last one. Oops, I'm going to grab one from YouTube really quick. I'm going to copy that from my YouTube tab. I'm going into my presentation page, and I'm adding that video. Okay, that was how we did that. And the same thing applied again as well. Just a quick reminder before we wrap up. If I want to add a page, I'm going to click on the plus sign near where I want to add it. If I want 2 columns or 3 columns, I'm going to move this up and down to manipulate that to tell it what I want. And then from there, I'm then just simply putting in the text by typing it in, the image by uploading it, the video by copying the link, or if I want to pull in Testimonial Tree, it's the more option. And again, on the top left-hand side, it's the little globe circle that looks like a little world. I don't have any questions, so I think we're good. If you have any additional questions, let's say you get in and maybe you just need a refresher from me, go ahead and reach out to me. Again, I'm going to put my email on the screen one more time. Elizabeth Glass, it's elizabeth.glass@cbschmidtohio.com. My phone number is right there as well. So please take a couple of minutes when this session is done. I would love for you to go in and play with it. Even if it's a page nobody sees, go create your custom page today. Create it, make it. That's the starting point. Then you can go into YouTube and you can go into our different locations for photos and start grabbing the photos you want. And again, now that you know how to do that layout, if you're looking at this picture right here, this listing presentation, now that makes a little bit more sense. This was one column with a picture that they already uploaded with this on it. This was text that they added. This was a video in one column that they added from YouTube. This was 2 columns. Notice that. See, there's 2 columns here. They also have 1 column, which was just a photo, 3 columns, which was a picture. So now that you actually see how it's done, you can see how quickly and easily it was to kind of lay that out. So it doesn't need to be just an About Me page. It could be a featured page for your location that you're trying to sell for your client. It could be a real estate page for a luxury newsletter. It could be anything you want. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap this session up. This session will be recorded. Let me go ahead and look at my calendar here real quick. You know, you guys are all on different calendars, but actually that wraps it up. I don't think we have, do we have additional classes today? I think that might be it for today. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to stop this recording session. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions. Once again, thank you guys so much. And please jump in and start using Moxi Present right away, because it has been one of the most used platforms that we have within our company, and people are converting leads to clients like crazy. And I'm telling you that's fact. And we have testimonials from the people who are doing it when they're using it. On that note, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time and effort and all of your wantingness and desire to learn these new tools. Have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye, everyone.